What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Rochester just happened this past Saturday, headlined by Kevin Lee versus Rafael dos Anjos in 170-pound division, welterweight division, co-headlined by Ian Heinisch versus Shoeface. My picks, they kind of readjusted the card because I know Neil Magny popped for a steroid or a tainted supplement or something like that. So Vicente Luque had to do last-minute replacement fight against Krantz, Derek Krantz, who was from the Dana White Contenders. No, he was from Dana White's Looking for a Fight. He was supposed to be fighting on the Contender Series, but because he got this last-minute kind of call to fill in. And great card overall. I guess I didn't get to watch the prelims. I might actually go back and rewatch that while I edit the podcast because I heard they were really good. A lot of knockouts and submissions. The fight bonuses went to a couple people, Dawson and Pereira from the prelims, and Aspen Ladd versus Sajara Eubanks, which I saw the last round. And they both looked pretty gassed when I first tuned in. But Aspen Ladd won it, and I believe I picked her in my picks last week, and she got bumped down to the feature bout for the prelims. All the fights were on ESPN Plus, though. So I want to go back and rewatch the prelim card because just looks like fun, and it's been a while since I've been slacking as far as my UFC keeping up with all of the fights. I mean, I watched the main cards, but back when I was doing the Inspired Disorder podcast, I would watch every single fight on the card from the early prelim, the very first fight, to the main event. I'd rewatch the whole card twice before we would talk about it, Keith and I. So comparatively, I mean, yesterday was last night or when the fight, so I don't really have that. I mean, I guess I could rewatch it when I first wake up, but that's not part of my routine. I don't want to rewatch it just for one episode in a 7-episode schedule. But anyway, Rafael dos Anjos versus Kevin Lee. I thought Kevin Lee was going to win it, but dos Anjos just had better gas. Kevin Lee got hit a few times and really just, pumped his output down. He tried to out-wrestle, but dos Anjos was able to get the better of the grappling exchanges with his jiu-jitsu. Ended up getting an arm triangle in the 4th round. I'm actually surprised it went to 4 rounds because Kevin Lee was looking gassed in the 2nd and was just able to keep going. I mean, this is his first time at welterweight that we've seen him. He's normally at lightweight. Rafael dos Anjos comes from lightweight. But I think dos Anjos is more of a 170. He's bulked up a little bit more. I mean, even though Kevin Lee looked big as well, I mean, they both looked similar in size. But dos Anjos, I think, is just used to fighting at speed in that weight class. And his cardio was able to hold up. And I don't know if cardio is necessarily a big thing with Kevin Lee. I want to say maybe it was at one point. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But I picked Kevin Lee, and I got that one wrong. I also picked Shoeface. I'm a big Antonio Carlos Jr. fan. Shoeface. I'm going to do a Shoeface supercut. The good commentators did easily close to 20 Shoefaces, so I'm going to do a Shoeface supercut. But Ian Heinisch just came in, and there were some dirty strikes, and I think Carlos got preoccupied in the 2nd round, too much so. I think he destroyed in the 1st round. 2nd round, he was just too focused on the fouls that Heinisch was doing, and the ref was just not calling them. So the frustration, I think, got to Antonio, and he wasn't able to implement his game. I think he took too much damage in the 2nd round because he was too distracted, and in the 3rd round he was too tired and he couldn't do it. Ian Heinisch won it. For that, there was Felicia Spencer surprising everybody, beating Megan Anderson. Anderson coming off a crazy weird win to I don't know what that ended up being, where she cut open the eyelid of the other fighter, but just once she got her taken down by Spencer. It was just pretty much the beginning of the end. She really wasn't able to get back up or get anything happening. Ended up getting rear naked choke. Vicente Luque looked great. He destroyed Derek Krantz, who came in. Started pretty strong in the very beginning of the first round. Looked interesting. Got a little scared. But Vicente Luque he's a beast, man. He's a beast. And in the first round, he came back. It was all in the first round. That was a kind of a So I guess Krantz it was just the first few seconds. That was a short fight. Charles Oliveira just dominating Nick Lentz. Just jiu-jitsu when needed and amazing striking. His striking he's just so dangerous. I love watching him fight. Charles Oliveira got the knockout, or TKO, I should say. And then Davi Ramos versus Austin Hubbard. Ramos just had heavy, heavy hands and was using his jiu-jitsu when the fight did get to the ground just to free up his hands for ground and pound. It was brutal, but a good fight. It went to a decision. Hubbard, just great defense, wasn't able to get on the other side of the coin and get anything. He was just pretty much defending the whole fight. But overall, fun main card from Rochester, New York, from the UFC. There's no more fights, or at least not next week. There's no fights, so the next card is June 1st. Gustafsson versus Smith from Sweden. That might be an early card. I don't know if it's on a Sunday or not. I didn't really look that far into it, but I will be making picks next week for that card. So I'm not making picks in this episode, but I'm looking forward to that fight. Haven't looked at the card at all, but just the main event in the light heavyweight division. Really interested to see how well Smith comes off the loss to John Jones in a good matchup. I think this is going to be a good matchup for Smith. I think Gustafsson's style will match up well for Smith, potentially, unless Gustafsson gets a lot of takedowns, which he's good at doing. But it'll be a fun fight in the light heavyweight division. But that's it for this episode of the Ray Taylor Show. New episodes of this show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week in advance over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my original artwork. Go buy some paintings now at Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!